Hey Gear Facts friends, I've got the lovely Yamaha NP-30 learner's piano today. It's a learner's piano, yes, not with fully weighted keys, but it's a really nice piano. It's beautiful to play. And I say that as a man who's not trained and is generally not very good at doing music. Now you can tell by your first impression, which is probably correct, that this is a very simple piano. It's just got 8 sounds and very basic controls. Basic but very beautiful speakers either side. 76 keys, you can have your music stand here, and of course an expression pedal or sustain pedal. I've got that on the floor here so that you can see how it operates, and our whole assembly is on the floor, so really I had no choice. Anyway, I'm going to do some of my basic playing for you. I'll do my best and hopefully I can do this instrument some justice. Up go the sleeves. We start with our basic piano sound, which is really nice. Been a long time since I played that tune, but anyway, you get the idea. Did you notice the beautiful velocity response? It really is very nice tone. And like I said, it's not a fully weighted keyboard, it's what they call semi-weighted. And just while we're on that point, I just want to clarify something because, and I'm not going to say I've got the exact right information, but this is something you should clarify if you're looking at buying a learner's piano. And that is, what is the difference between semi-weighted, non-weighted, graded weight, and fully weighted? I'm sure there are absolutely correct definitions for each of those terms available, but what you want to clarify when you're buying a piano is, are the keys just like a home keyboard with no weight whatsoever, just a spring-loaded action? Semi-weighted, which is still spring-loaded, but just a little bit more technically balanced. Then you've got your graded, which is where the keys will have a different weight as you progress along the keyboard, usually harder towards the bottom. And finally, you've got your fully weighted ones, which operate on a hammer action. They're always quite a lot bigger than this, and they really will feel like a real piano. And within that category there are several grades of quality as well. Anyway, I'm open to be corrected on any of that. I just thought it was something that would be good to clarify with your salesperson when you're looking at buying a keyboard of this type. Okay, enough talk. I'm going to show you now the sustain pedal. Now it's either on or it's off with this particular model. So you can't kind of have a half sustain sort of sound. But it is very nice and it adds so much expressiveness to your playing, and in the case of someone like myself, it can make you sound a lot better than what you really are. Let's run through the same tune again, with a bit of sustain. And it can also be very juicy and lush at the low end. It really is a lovely piano sound. Moving on to the next one, it's a similar sound, but it's chorused. I don't know how well that's coming up on your computer speakers, given that it's being recorded through my video camera, but you might find this sounds a little bit fatter, and it's really just a different style of piano sound, I suppose, just a different flavour. And the low notes sound a bit like this. So just a little bit sharper and harder than the previous sound. So those are our 2 classic piano sounds. Let's move on and see what else we have. So more of a clavy style sound. Again with an interesting velocity response. Since it's a very melodious, dynamic sort of sound, you'll probably appreciate the velocity sensitivity a little more at the high end. Went a bit out of key there, let's try again. So yeah, very nice, deep, rich, bell-like kind of sound. What's next? Alright, this is more your classic 70s disco kind of clavy. It's got quite a different sort of a response when it comes to velocity. it's more like this. And with the pedal in, it's kind of like this. Next sound. Okay, we're onto the organs now. Let's just try a nice big fat C. I have to admit, I haven't tried the sustain pedal on this one, so let's see what it does. Okay, so the sound already has a little bit of sustain to it. You can hear that quite thick hall-like reverb, and this just adds to it. You'd probably be wanting to go easy on that effect. Guys, it's pretty heavy. Let's move on to the next one. Now this really is a church organ. Let's try an A this time. And sustain again will be similar. I might try the really high end with this sound. I don't know if you can see that because I had trouble getting the whole length of this keyboard in shot, but let's see how we go. And again, it's a really professional sound that you could certainly use professionally in the right situation. Next sound is our strings. Okay, let's try a B minor. Velocity response is pretty much just volume, but there is a little bit more bite to the sound as you press harder. Could have chosen a better chord progression to show you, but anyway, there you go. The low strings really resonate. And again, sustain behaves the same way, along with the naturally generous sustain you get from this tone anyway. Beautiful for a fade out at the end of a song. Next up is Harpsichord, and I've been practicing this morning to try to do this sound some justice because it's such a nice natural sort of a sound. It just sounds so woody and it makes me wish I knew some appropriate tunes for it, but I guess I'll try something. Oh, there you go, I just made up a harpsichord tune. You get the idea. It's a wonderful sound for practicing your trills. Again, a really nice melodious sort of voice to switch to when you're feeling cheerful. Sustain pedals like this. And velocity is like this. Virtually no difference, but that's the way harpsichords are. Next, I think we had another similarly classical sort of sound. I'm not sure what this sound's called, but I'll try a tune of a similar ilk. No, I'm having no luck with improvising there, but again, it's a harpsichord kind of sound and it feels really good to play. Lovely response. Again, not much velocity change, but it's just such a bright, nice sound. It's a joy to play. Do we have any more sounds? Oh yes, we most certainly do. I love this Jazzy Bell sound. velocity response. It's a sound that you can really express yourself with. I guess I should play something a little more jazzy. Yeah, that sound is just so mellow and right. It's just really nice to play. I could see myself just sitting alone quietly in a room in the middle of the night, just noodling around with that and seeing what I could come up with. Next up, we're back to piano. And it's just such a nice feel. Okay, now let's take a look at the keyboard in its entirety. Here's the whole thing. And over here on the left, we've got our very basic controls, on-off switch, volume, there's a metronome control there, as well as a play button for a demo tune. Grand piano sound will take you back to your default sound, and the two switches there will take you between sounds. Down here we've got a list of those sounds, and you can shortcut to them using the actual keys on the keyboard. I should take you back to these unusual shaped speakers here on the side. They're elliptical and they do a really nice job. I like that slightly tilted position too. It's just very easy on the ears. Over here we have numbers for MIDI control and also tempo control numbers here. Again, you use the very basic keypad over on the left to set those up. We have a few obligatory scratches. Obviously you have to have a sheet music stand. This one is detachable though, so if you already know your music and you're just performing, you can take that sheet music stand off, and it's a really nice, neat unit. Let's have a look at the back. I do love the elegant simplicity of this keyboard. Over on the side here we've got MIDI controls. There's a socket for that sustain pedal. MIDI control is important to a lot of advanced players who want to connect to other equipment, so that's a really nice thing to have, and it'll help you to upgrade and grow your system in the future. Over past the Yamaha logo down here, we've got headphone socket and power in. Speaking of power, this keyboard can also run on AA batteries. I think this is a great feature because it adds so much to the portability, and it would be nice to see it more on keyboards of this type, because there is a bit of a misnomer that anybody using this kind of keyboard is just going to be sitting in their bedroom practicing, but no, people do get out and play these things. So that's the entirety of my review of the NP-30 as I try to get the whole thing in shot for you. It is probably about 120 centimeters long. But having said that, Yamaha certainly hasn't wasted any space. It's nice and compact. The keyboard is full size, so you get everything you need in a really neat package. I will put up some links to some other similar things that I've reviewed, guys, and it would be lovely if you could like or subscribe to Gear Facts. And please leave me a comment too, because I'm always happy to talk about these kinds of instruments and anything else that I've reviewed. So I look forward to seeing you next time on Gear Facts. Thanks for watching. That's the NP-30 from Yamaha. Awesome.